Hello everyone, it's Alana Wakeman here from the Forest and Bridge Real Estate Group at Remax Real Estate Center, and I am here with John, the owner of Brawny Movers. Hello John.
Morning, Alana.
How are you doing?
Can't complain.
Good, good. That's a good thing in these times.
A little bit.
So John, tell me a little bit about your business, about Brawny Movers and what you guys do, where you service all the fun stuff.
Okay. Well, I started Brawny 4 years ago, March 2016. Kind of started out of necessity because I had quit a job and was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I was a bit bigger then, and people always knew me for lifting things, so I was already helping people move. I thought, why not charge people for it? So within my first month, I actually did better than my last job, and it just kind of snowballed from there. So we've had over 100 employees now, not all at once. And we service across Ontario. We're based out of London, Ontario, but we'll travel anywhere within Ontario. And we've done everything from small packages to big furniture, gun safes, hot tubs, houses, just about anything we've probably moved to at this point.
Yeah, and you do like not only residential, you also do commercial moves and whatnot as well, and you will do like furniture stores and things if people don't have the capability to pick stuff up on their own.
Yep, so deliveries from stores, that's actually what we've done most of. We've done Amazon, Walmart, Home Depot, Staples, Granite Toy.
He's name dropping.
Fitness, yeah.
It's good, he's reputable.
Yeah, I'm trying to, if they'll use me, you should too.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, and I personally use John for our move, recommended him to lots of clients. I've had one client recently who's used him 4 times in about a month, so.
On an unrelated note, try to declutter a little bit before your move.
Well, let's do a tips at the end of this.
Okay.
Because that's a really good point. Also, I would say before you move, take it a step further before you list, but we'll get there. Okay, so you said areas you service, what you guys do, but you offer some other services as well beyond just moving, correct?
Yeah, so in addition to moving, we do furniture assembly, a bit of storage. We're not actively advertising storage right now. We probably will when we pick up another warehouse. A lot of deliveries, that's been the bulk of what we've done, but most people know us for residential moving. So houses, apartments, students, you name it.
Awesome. How do people find you? How can they book you? How can they get in touch with you? Because that's important. That's great that they know that you do, but they need to find you.
So we are the only Brawny Movers. Some people think I mumble and they ask if it's Brawny Rivers. It's Brawny, B-R-A-W-N-Y, which means, muscular or jacked. That kind of describes all the employees I have, and those are the type of guys I want moving me. So those are the ones that I went out and found to help move other people.
And websites, Facebook, Instagram, all of it.
So
I mean, I already know this because he's very active on social media, but I want him to explain how you can find him too.
No problem. We're the only Brawny Movers out there. There's a Brawny Labor in Florida or something like that. We've gotten some complaints about them, but for the most part, nobody calls from the States. So we are the only Brawny next to the paper towels. And you can find us on BrawnyMovers.com, B-R-A-W-N-Y, movers.com, and most people book online through the form on there. It's very simple. We've had people in their 80s do it and tell me how easy it was. Realistically, you're paying hourly for your movers anyway. We can kind of help you figure out how long that will take, but most people are working within a budget, so you kind of figure out the math and work backwards.
We use the online booking service and it was super easy. I am not someone who likes calling to book things. Like anything I can do online, I will do. Pizza, other food, packages. There's one sitting on the porch right now. So that was really, really convenient for me because if I think about it like late at night or at some random time, I don't have to worry about playing phone tag with someone to get something done. And yeah, there's the estimating tools right on the website as well of like how long roughly it would take and whatnot. So and one of the other services I want to point out too, because this is what we did, was it's not even necessarily just direct move. Like you'll load up a storage container and then that can be dropped off at your next house if closing dates don't line up. So that was something I didn't even know was a thing. And when we started looking, because I was pregnant when we were moving and I was not going to pack anything, that was awesome that you guys offer that service. So we were really happy with that.
Yeah, so we call that a labor-only service, so that's where you're just hiring the muscle instead of the guys with the truck. It's a bit more budget-friendly, and a lot of people are opting to use it to load shipping containers or their own truck if they're moving you know,
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
multiple cities. Yeah.
Cool.
So it cuts down the bill instead of paying guys to drive from one side to another. And when you're moving from house to house, it makes more sense to load up a shipping container and move it from driveway to driveway than to load a truck, put it in storage, take it out of storage,
Yeah.
and put it into your new place.
Yeah.
The shipping container rig, you handle things twice as opposed to 4 times if you go the other way.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a really great service. What is something that your customers really like about your business that kind of sets you apart from others, maybe?
So the key to our success has been our guys. Everyone's loved them, the customers, etc. Normally when you think of movers, it's a low barrier to entry service. So you're thinking about, you know, some unsavory individuals showing up because they couldn't find other work. My guys are the opposite. A lot of them have gone on to very respectable positions. We've had 5 guys go to the CFL, maybe 6. We have 1 guy who is now an MD, with multiple PhDs. So these are all motivated guys. I realize they won't be with me forever, but you know, while they're in school, it's a chance for them to make above average pay, and tips are great for them as well.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. That is something you'll notice on social media as well, as a lot of people do comment on on the movers.
I have a face for radio, so I still want things.
John is Pokeroo, so this is like a big deal that you are here doing this today. So I thank you for that. What's like a weird experience you've had with a client, either in terms of like a weird request or something strange that you've seen in the house? Probably try and keep it PG-ish or dance around.
Yeah, in general, look under your mattress before we're going to move you. That's usually a good place to start. Weird requests. There have been a lot. One that stands out recently, and I guess speaks to the guys, is we moved someone to Toronto, and they told the guys, "Oh, if you're ever in the area, feel free to stay. Like, give me a call. You can crash here." She only had 1 bed. Okay, which is,
That's very courteous of her.
yeah, very inviting.
Moving tips. Packing
Moving
tips.
tips.
Moving tips. You want to
Number
give
one.
like, yeah, go ahead.
Number 1, purge before you move. Doesn't make any sense to move things that you're just going to throw out anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of the
110%.
time you pick up a lot of clutter over the years, especially if you have kids or pets. As they grow older, you're no longer using things like high chairs, etc., but they end up taking up space.
Mhm.
So if you can get rid of that beforehand,
Do it before you list. That's when you
Yes.
need to declutter. Get it out. Continue. Sorry.
a lot of people nowadays, especially in larger homes, they will have a shipping container to load up with all the stuff they've accumulated as their kids grow up. They take that off site, then stagers come in.
Mhm.
Some stagers will make you do that before they even show up.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's just a waste of time otherwise if they're moving around stuff that is junky and not going to stay. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, look under the mattress.
Look under the mattress.
What about like packing vessels?
Yeah, if you're packing things, try to stick to 1 to 2 box sizes. A tip that most people love is actually label the sides of your boxes. Reason being, if you only label the top, we're probably going to carry more than 1 box for you. And it's a lot easier to see a sticker or something on the side and then put it into that color-coded room for you. You'll save a lot of time instead of setting a box down just to look at the top of it.
Mhm.
Put another one on top or try and group them together. The sticker system is so much better, and it'll probably save you at least an hour.
Yeah, it's worth doing for sure. What about like packing in totes versus boxes, open boxes versus lids?
Try to minimize how many boxes you have with an open top, just because we can only put them at the top of the stack or on top of things. It also looks a little more chaotic, and when your house is full of boxes on moving day, you want to try and minimize your stress. So it looks a lot cleaner when you see nice clear edges. And for the guys playing Tetris on the truck, a fully packed box is much easier.
Awesome. Very good. I'm just going to jump in with my own little testimonial for Brawny here. So when we booked Brawny, we used the storage container solution Secrete thing. And the company that we used, I'm not going to name them because I wouldn't recommend them. Basically, they just were way off in how much space we would need. And John, I think, took pity on like poor pregnant me because we had some stuff that wasn't fitting. So he was kind enough to offer us a storage solution. in that month overlap that we had, and everything was great. Nothing was broken. When we were unpacking the day that the guys came, there was one item that was missing, and it wasn't even like a big deal. It was a piece of like TV furniture for the basement, so we didn't need it. I mentioned it to John. He's like, "Yep, we've got it. Sorry, it didn't make it. I'll bring it by tonight." And I was like, "No, that's totally not necessary. We absolutely do not need it." And John actually went out of his way to bring it over himself after he was done the rest of a long day, I'm sure, of moving. And he had joked if there was anything else that I needed, and I said pizza because I was pregnant, and of course I wanted pizza, and he actually brought that too. So this just shows you the level of customer service and a detail. I'm sure he's not bringing pizza to everyone, so don't expect that.
I can't bring pizza to
Set
everybody.
expectations, but that was a very nice gesture that we really did appreciate. So we highly recommend Brawny Movers. Another question I wanted to ask, sorry. Shopping local, shopping small, supporting small. Something I think a lot of people maybe don't know about you is that you also run like a small business networking group here in town, a very popular one. So tell me why you think it's important to shop local, shop small.
Yeah, so when you support a small business, especially one that started in your community, those owners, their staff, etc., they're going to be spending their money in the local economy as well. So that goes a long way. They're not a faceless corporation. They're the ones sponsoring your kid's soccer team or something. Although I guess Tim Hortons sponsors Timbits.
Well, they still go for more sponsors with the sports. So, yeah.
We'll go baseball. I don't think anyone sponsors baseball aside from small businesses.
Yeah. And I know a lot of other small business owners in the community support you guys as well. You've done a lot of work for them, and I speak for a lot of us by saying thank you for that and for your professionalism and for connecting us all as well.
Thank you.
Anything else that you would like to add?
Another moving tip. Try not to close, and Alana can speak to this as well. Try not to lose possession on the same date that you get your new keys.
Yeah.
Just because you're adding stress to yourself, there are alternatives to it. If you have a good realtor, then they'll be able to explain those to you, or different options. The shipping container is one route where you load it up one day and unload the next. Or it can be weeks later or something. You want to avoid putting things into storage because you're just going to incur extra cost. Unless you go the container route. Eventually we will have our own containers, so
nice.
They'll be called Brawny bins at some point.
Sweet.
Hasn't happened yet.
This is future growth, future projects.
Yeah, there's a million on them.
Yeah. That is something, even if your closing dates do line up, if you can avoid having the moving happen on the same day. Because sometimes you can't always separate those out. Either you're not able to bridge your financing, or just the way it works out, closing has to be the same day. But don't expect that you're going to have your house necessarily emptied in time in the morning. If you have Brawny, you probably will. But if it's anyone else, often it takes longer than you anticipate. And you likely aren't going to get the keys until like 3 p.m. or later. So if you've got someone that you're paying hourly and they're sitting in the driveway or in front of a house that they can't even get into yet, it's just wasted money. So try and have it at least the next day, if not a little bit later.
Yeah.
And there's my friendly, in conjunction with moving, tip.
Lawyers love to tell people, and some realtors, that, oh yeah, you'll get your keys between 12 and noon. I can tell you thousands of times over that it's almost always 4 to 4:30.
Yeah.
And
I will say, in a more normal market, because it's been a very elevated market for the last 4 years, that used to be true, where they'd say like early afternoonish. Now lawyers are just as busy as everyone else. They're trying to put out, small fires with things, even simple things like our own personal house did not close, this house, on the day that it was supposed to, because there was a big storm and the seller's lawyer lost power and internet, so there couldn't be a transfer. So it can be little things like that, where it can kind of slow things down. So you want to factor those things in for sure. Even if you're hoping for early afternoon, let that be a bonus, not what you've planned the whole day on.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that's it. Well, John, thank you so much for meeting with me this morning. I would shake your hand, but we're not allowed, so we're not.
Keep our distance.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. If you need to get in touch with Brawny, which again I highly recommend for all your moving needs, even things like small moves, apartments, moving office furniture, little things like that, all contact information will be here, and he will have a profile on this site as well. So lots of ways to reach out to him. Thank you again,
No problem.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you again soon with another interview from a local business owner.